Hello friends, in this video we are going to talk about how you can choose a good web hosting service provider for your website. As you know that to host your website on the internet so that people can access your website, you need a good web hosting. So to access your website on internet, we need to host our website on a good hosting platform. So if you are wanting to live on your internet and want to host your website, so you need the hosting provider, a good hosting provider. So there are multiple vendors who are selling hosting in the market, but you don't need to buy hosting from all these hosting platforms. You need to choose only one hosting platform that suits your needs. So you need to keep track on your needs that you want to place in your website. So in this video I am going to talk about something the advantages or something the things that you need to consider before buying hosting to your website. So the first thing that you can check of a website hosting is how the customer service or the customer support they provide. So if you see the different hosting platforms who are providing hosting, then you cannot see that they are using and they providing a good hosting to their users, because maximum providers don't provide any call support or any chat support to their customer. So if you are a beginner, you don't know about how to host your website, how to do all the technical things that are available on hosting side, then you need some handhold support from the hosting provider. So here the hosting provider or the call or chat support of the hosting provider takes a great place. So whenever you are buying a hosting, you need to consider that which hosting provider provides the live customer or chat support. You need to consider 24/7 chat support also. So maximum web hosting services also provides 24/7 web hosting services. Then the second things that you need to consider that what your website needs. So if you are planning to design a website, you need to make a particular niche on the things on which you want to design the website. So if I want to write articles, then I need to make a blog website. So if I want to showcase my services to my customer, then I want to make a portfolio website where I can list my services. Similarly, if you want to sell anything in online also, you need a good e-commerce website. So you want to choose which type of services you want to deliver so that you can decide a website. So if you are making a e-commerce website, then you cannot go with the cheap web hosting services. You have to make your server very good and it will be reliable for your customer, so that whenever something is happening on your website, then it will take place as quick as possible, so that the user will get happy when they are using your website. So before choosing the good hosting services, you need to consider the best need that your website needs also. Then the third things that you need to consider is your server reliability and the uptime guarantee. So what does it mean by server reliability and uptime guarantee? As you know that in the hosting, what is happening? We are placing our website data into a server which is live on internet. So whenever you are using a web hosting services, you need to consider a good server which a good hosting provider provides. So if you talk about the giants, the maximum people who are using the good hosting services, then they have a good server reliability. It means they provide a good server capacity to their users. So you need to consider it. And what is uptime? So if you consider uptime means when your website is opening, it means how speed the website is opening. As I have told before that if the website load takes 3 seconds or more than 3 seconds to open, then it will make a very impact to the users. So the people will not like to land up your website. So whenever you are considering the web hosting services, you need to consider that the uptime of your website is also high. So many providers also provides guarantee in the uptime. So they are providing that if your website get any problems during the processing of opening and closing, then they will give your money back free also. So you need to consider this aspect while choosing the website web hosting services. Then a good security. As we are placing our data or as you are placing the whole website data to a server, you need to have a good security policy also. As you know that in today's world there are many spammers or hackers are available on online. They always try to spam on your website. It has been happening in my side also. My website somewhere got corrupted by some spamming. So you need to consider a good security provider. So in a good security hosting services, what they provide? They provide a good services so that they can back up your data. If someone hack your website also, then the hosting provider have the backup of your website. So if you contact them, then they can give you the backup and you can restore your website. When you are choosing the good hosting services, then you need to consider a good security also. Then consider this a good web feedback or a good rating. So there are many providers who are providing website have a rating policy. You can take rating of Trustpilot, or in their website also you get many reviews of the people. So if you see in the social media also, in the social media like Facebook groups or Quora groups, then you can join here and ask the people who are using these services. Then he can tell the best thing or the worst thing that the hosting provider provides, so that you can consider that should I need to choose this hosting service or not. Then the fifth thing that you can consider is that the refund policy that the provider provides. So many provider provides that if you don't like their services in the 14 days of the starting days of your 14 days, then you can refund and you can get back your money guarantee. So you need to consider this thing also. So if you use these services in the past 7 or to 14 days and you don't get any impact on your website, or you look that these things not working on your site, then you don't need to consider these web services. Then the next thing that you need to consider whenever you are buying a hosting is the add-ons or the products or the digital products that they provide. So many times the hosting provider provide free domains, free email options, free ebooks or free courses to make your website and host it on Google. So you need to consider these things also, because if you are getting and if you are paying money for your buying hosting, then you are getting a domain for free, then it is very good. Because if you are buying domain in online, then it generally cost 800 to 1000 rupees. So if you are getting it for free, then it's good. Whenever you are choosing the hosting services, then you need to consider the add-on plans that they will provide. Many times they will provide also the domain security for free. So you need to consider these options also. Then the next thing that you can check there in the hosting platform, that the upgradation that they are providing. So whenever you are buying hosting, suppose you take an example, in the first year of your hosting, you pay him 5000 rupees as per the year to host your website. But when you renew it in the next year, then you see that the price will increase to 6000 or 7000. So it will cost more whenever you will renew the website prices. So you need to consider these things. Whenever in my starting age also, whenever I am choosing the web hosting services at the first age or at the first year, I have buy at a very cheap price. But in the next year when I renew it, then the price goes high. So it will make me uncomfortable. So when you are choosing it also, you don't make these mistakes. You need to consider the services who provides a cheap renewal price also. If you are buying and hosting at 5000 rupees at the first year, then you need to pay only 500 to 600 extra for the next year, like 5500 to 5600 or 6000, something like that. But you don't need to pay more. So you need to consider these things while buying the hosting also. So these are some aspects that you need to consider when you are buying a hosting. So if you have any doubt regarding all these things, then you can comment it down. I will give the answer of your question.